most common complaints that we all hear and we all say is how tired we are. Well, is B12 the answer? Let's find out. I'm Sarah Heiner, president of Bottom Line Publications, and this is our conversation with the experts, where we get the answers to your tough questions from our leading experts. Today, I'm speaking to Dr. Andrew Rubman, a leading naturopathic physician and the medical director of the Southbury Clinic in Southbury, Connecticut. Dr. Rubman is also a longtime contributing medical editor to Bottom Line. So welcome, Andy. It's always great to see you.
Hi, Sarah.
All right, B12. Is that the magic silver bullet to the utter fatigue? Besides the fact that we all need to sleep more. But is B12 really one of the magic secrets to being able to fight fatigue?
In many cases, it really is. It is the master vitamin for the liver. It's the master vitamin for the central nervous system. You can think of it as being the CEO of a small company where it really directs the functions of many, many other things under it. And it's responsible for one's energy, for the amount of hormones and modulatory substances that are created to manage energy, and also the sensitivity of the receptors to those substances. And so it does work on the creation side, and it does work on the sensitivity side.
So it's the conductor of the band.
Absolutely.
In some ways.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Now, and does it work in isolation, or do you need the family of bees with it?
It really does, and it's conserved to a great degree so that the body can actually store up to about 3 years worth of B12 in the liver just to make sure it doesn't run out. But unlike being conserved the way that B12 is, B6, its go-to vitamin, is consumed and needs to be taken probably twice a day. B6 goes to B3, B3 goes to B1 and B2, and then the story enlarges out to rabbits, friends, and relations.
If I don't have enough of the other bees, will B12 be able to be effective on its own?
Not really, but B12 will be able to leverage a certain amount of the B vitamin activity that's present in a good diet. But oftentimes we introduce complexity by supplementing single B vitamins. It's been all the rage to take niacin by itself to limit cholesterol. People get into trouble doing that. Giving high doses of thiamine to help people get over hangovers. That can be problematic over time.
All these people that are getting vitamin B12 shots, are those effective without taking additional Bs?
Not particularly, and truth be told, most of them don't need to be taking it in a shot form, but it does drive one into a office visit for the physician.
How do you know that you need B12?
There are blood tests that are fairly good at estimating whether one has particularly low B12. The problem with relying just on those is that the normal range looks at one's adequacy of vitamin B12 and protecting from pernicious anemia, not really for optimal function. So if you said to me, all right, what level should I be looking for an optimal level for vitamin B12? It would be over the top of the reference range and probably from 12 to 1400.
How does somebody know if they need to be taking supplemental Bs? Is it just that they're tired?
They're tired. They are vulnerable to colds. They're vulnerable to viruses. They feel that their mood and temperament is inadequately balanced. They tend to have digestive problems. They tend to hold water weight. Those are some of the big ones, but the list is very long because of its central function in the liver and in the central nervous system.
So if somebody's having a bunch of kind of neurological issues, what do those look like or feel like?
The classic one is peripheral circulatory issues.
That tingling?
Tingling in the fingertips, Raynaud's phenomenon. You go to pick up a frozen rib roast in the market and your fingers start turning colors. Your energy is bad, and the doctor says you have a type of anemia called pernicious anemia that's related to B12 deficiency. But you really have to be low to get that.
If they're just having some fingertip issues or things like that, or if they seem to be getting sick quite frequently, you said that can they just start supplementing Bs, or do they need to go to their doctor for a measure?
They probably can supplement the B vitamins. However, it shouldn't be an excuse not to go to the doctor if you continue to feel sick, because self-diagnosis is very difficult.
Of course. Can you eat your bees?
Yes. The question is, do you have adequate stomach acid in order to process them properly and uptake them from the system? As we age, as we take more medications, or particularly if we're taking acid suppressant medication, it becomes more difficult to conduct that.
So let's talk about supplementing Bs then. Who should do it?
We find it in the multivitamins. I prescribe it to almost everyone who comes through my office. Almost everyone that I treat seems to benefit from it. So just about everyone should be able to benefit from B supplementation, taken at least twice a day.
B supplements, and you know, I just jumped actually between B12s and the family of Bs because in fact they work together. So if somebody needs to be supplementing or wants to be supplementing Bs, they take a B multi twice a day. And then how about for B12, what would be, because that's not necessarily in the B multi, is that correct?
It should be, but the amount may be less than the person really needs in order to kick it into gear. You can take additional supplemental B12, but you have to be a little bit judicious. You might be able to take 1,000 mcgs or micrograms or 1 milligram a day for a period of about a month or 6 weeks, but then go in and have the simple blood test taken to see what you're doing. There is a propensity for the mineral, which is in B12, which is cobalt, to be in excess in the body and to promote symptoms if one takes too much B12 over a period of time.
If somebody wants to supplement with B12 in addition, there's a certain type that's the most recommended type of B12 that we usually recommend. What's that?
Right. For the most recommended one that you can take the lowest amount and get the best results from, that would be methylcobalamin. The type that's given in the shot in the caboose and that you can take by mouth is called cyanocobalamin. It's relatively cheap, and so most of my patients will actually end up taking more of the cyanocobalamin and get the same effect rather than spending the extra money on the methyl.
Let me just reiterate. So taking the multi-Bs on your own, not an issue. But there is some risk if you're going to supplement B12 that really should be with professional oversight and monitoring.
Yeah, after a period of time you'll want to see what the impact on your system has been of the amount that you're taking. And the B12 supplementation is usually in a form which is sublingual or transbuccal. Transbuccal meaning through the lining of the mouth. You take a small purple pill, you park it on the side of your mouth, 5 minutes later it's gone and you go about your business.
Thank you, Dr. Andy. The bottom line on B12, it really is the conductor of your entire orchestra. So if you're feeling fatigued, if you're having some tingling in your fingers, then you really might want to talk about supplementing some B vitamins. If you're going to try supplementing Bs, go for the full family of Bs first because they work together with B12. Be sure to always take your Bs twice a day because they don't last that long. And if you're going to supplement B12, talk to your doctor and have it monitored because you really can take too much. This is Sarah Heiner with Bottom Line.